The Girl Who Could Hear Forgotten Voices. The silence of the world, Clara had learned, was a lie. It was a blanket thrown over a symphony, a curtain drawn against a stage teeming with whispers. For Clara, every old object hummed with the memories it had absorbed, a psychic patina laid over the physical one. It began with her great-grandmother's porcelain doll, its painted smile chipped. At age 7, Clara had picked it up and heard not the rustle of her own thoughts, but the clear silver bell laughter of a girl named Eleanor, feeling the scratch of new wool socks on a Christmas morning, 1898. Then came the library books, a cacophony of focused studiousness, fleeting romances, and the soft, sad sigh of a man reading his late wife's favorite poem. The antique oak desk in her room murmured of ink-stained fingers and the frantic, hopeful scratching of a novel that was never published. The voices were not always kind. A cracked vase in a charity shop wept with the heat of a long-ago argument. A rusted pocket knife carried the cold, lonely terror of a soldier in a trench. Clara learned to navigate the world with a kind of emotional tinnitus, wearing headphones not for music, but for the blessed artificial silence they provided against the constant murmur of the past. Her parents, after years of child psychologists and skepticism, had come to a wary acceptance. They called it her keen empathy, a phrasing that felt both true and a profound understatement. Clara called it her burden. It made her seem distant, odd. She was the girl who hesitated before shaking hands, who flinched at second-hand shops, who sometimes looked at a seemingly ordinary chair and her eyes would well with tears for no reason anyone else could see. Her sanctuary was the small, cluttered antique store on Orchard Lane, Mendis's Curiosities. Old Mr. Mendez, with eyes like wrinkled leather and a voice like dust, never questioned her when she asked to just sit in the corner. He seemed to understand that she wasn't browsing, but listening. She'd touch a tarnished silver locket and feel the quick bird-like heartbeat of a first kiss. She'd run a finger over a scrimshaw whale tooth and taste the salt spray and feel the aching boredom of a 3-year voyage. The store was a library of lived experience, and Clara, its solitary, overwhelmed librarian. One Tuesday, as autumn leaves scuttled past the window, an old woman entered the store. She moved with the fragile precision of a heron, carrying a small, polished wooden box. Her name was Mrs. Althea Green, she told Mr. Mendez, and she had something she needed to understand. "It was my mother's," she said, her voice papery thin. "She never spoke of it, just said it was a sadness to be buried with her. But I'm 89. I can't bury it with me not knowing." Mr. Mendez opened the box. Nestled on faded velvet was a man's signet ring, heavy gold, and a single frayed black and white photograph of a young man in a uniform, handsome and unsmiling. Mrs. Green hadn't even known his name. "My mother, Clara, was a vibrant woman," Althea whispered, more to herself than to Mendez, "but there was always a chamber in her heart that was locked. I think he was the key." Clara, pretending to examine a stack of old maps, felt the pull. It was a strong, melancholic frequency, like a low cello note held in a distant room. The ring. She watched as Mr. Mendez, kind but pragmatic, explained he could appraise the gold, but couldn't unravel a mystery. "May I?" Clara heard herself say. Both sets of old eyes turned to her. She blushed. I like to hold things. Sometimes you can feel stories." Mrs. Green, with the desperate hope of the truly lonely, nodded. "Please." Clara took the ring. The moment her skin touched the cold gold, the world fell away. The voice was young, male, brimming with a nervous, tender courage. "Alara," it said, the name a prayer. "My North Star. I'm no poet, just a flyboy. But if I could, I'd write a sonnet about the way the light catches your hair just before dusk." Clara gasped. His name was Leo. Mrs. Green's hand flew to her mouth. The scene shifted. Not a voice, but a sensation, the overwhelming vibration of an aircraft, the smell of oil and cold metal, and the voice again, tight with fear, but forcing itself to be light. "Don't you worry, my love. I'll be back before you can finish that awful knitting. Just think of me when you see a Spitfire in the clouds." Then a final, brutal surge, not a memory, but an imprint of the moment the ring left its owner, a searing jolt, a scream of tearing metal, the taste of smoke in a single crystalline thought, not of fear, but of profound sorrow. "Alara, I'm so sorry. Look to the sky." Clara's knees buckled. Mr. Mendez caught her elbow. Tears streaked her face. She was back in the shop, the ring hot in her palm. "He was a pilot," Clara breathed, the words scraping out. "Royal Air Force. He didn't make it. The ring was sent back to her with his things." Mrs. Green's eyes were wide, swimming with decades of unanswered questions. "How?" "He loved her," Clara continued, the pilot's emotion flowing through her like a river. "He called her his North Star. He said to look to the sky. That's how he thought of her, not with grief, but as his guiding point." The old woman began to weep, silent tears tracing the grooves of her face. They were not just tears of sadness, but of release. The locked chamber was opening. "Leo," she repeated, savoring the name. "My mother's Leo." She took the ring back, holding it to her chest. "All these years, it was just a sad secret. Now it's a love story. A short one, but a real one." She looked at Clara, seeing her truly for the first time. "You heard him." Clara, exhausted and raw, simply nodded. Mrs. Green left not long after, the box held close, her steps somehow lighter. Mr. Mendez turned to Clara. "You gave her a great gift, child. You gave him back his voice." That night, Clara didn't wear her headphones. She sat on her bed and picked up the chipped porcelain doll. Eleanor's laughter was still there, but now Clara could hear other layers beneath, a later sadness when the doll was packed away, the fondness of an old woman remembering. It was a full life, not just a moment. She looked at her own room, at the whispering desk, the humming rug, and the sighing books on her shelf. The forgotten voices weren't just ghosts. They were echoes of love, courage, fear, and joy. They were proof that every life, however ordinary, left a resonant trace. Her burden, she realized, was also a connection, a wiretap into the vast humming network of human experience. The next day, she went back to Mendez's Curiosities. She didn't hide in the corner. She walked up to the counter where a man was debating over a set of old drafting tools. "Can I help?" Clara asked Mr. Mendez, then softly to the customer. "Those belong to an architect. He was very proud. He built a library for his town with them. He'd be glad they're being used again." The man stared, then a smile broke over his face. "A library? Really?" He picked up the compass, looking at it with new respect. "I'll take them." Mr. Mendez gave Clara a slow, deep nod. She picked up a dusty music box from a shelf. Its song was broken, but its memory was a lullaby, sung in a soft German accent. Clara wound it gently, not to hear the mechanism, but to listen. She closed her eyes, and in the quiet of the cluttered shop, she smiled, finally learning the melody of a world that would never, ever be silent again.